Guess what? There are more shitty popular songs than there are good popular songs. Let that sink in. Today, I want to get into something that honestly, I think a lot of people don't actually realize about music and the music industry. Good does not always mean popular. Popular does not always mean good. And I know it sounds obvious when you hear it, yet a bold statement like, there are over there are more shitty songs with over 300,000 streams on Spotify than there are good top quality songs that have hit that mark. A statement like that blows some of y'all's minds, or at least it grabs your attention. When I say there are more average, basic, boring songs in the Billions Club than truly genre bending classics or hits, it prompts a reaction. A deserved reaction, because what I'm saying is outlandish, but it's still a reaction. For those who don't know, the Billions Club is a collection of songs that have hit the mark of 1 billion streams on Spotify. A billion. That's not just big, it's a rare, incredible milestone. It's a prestigious group. It doesn't have like a club name for nothing. But when you look at the way people talk about music and they talk about awards, charts, trends, you would think popularity is everything, but it's not. So let's really break it down, you know? Let's talk about it. The charts, Billboard, Hot 100, they're a measure of impact, of virality, of reach, but they are absolutely not a measure of musical excellence. The Billboard Hot 100 is not saying these are the best curated, crafted songs this week, put out this week. No, they're saying this song was played 900 times before you even knew the words, playing it again and again on the radio before you even knew what the words were. And TikTok culture, that throws a whole nother layer, a whole new wrench into this because it's a whole new layer of complication. TikTok culture is basically the influence of the social media platform TikTok on music trends. So think about this. Songs that go viral on TikTok often experience significant boosts in streams and chart positions. Keyword chart positions. Sometimes regardless of their overall musical quality. Most times regardless of their overall musical quality. Songs that are associated with specific TikTok trends aren't associated with those trends because they're the best songs. Yet that play, those plays, that reach, that influence, it actually matters. Not only that, aside from these general boosts in popularity, did you know that TikTok actually tracks those stats? And they actually have a direct impact on the Billboard Hot 100. Not just the indirect popularity building, they actually directly reflect on the Billboard Hot 100 through TikTok music. That just goes to show the Billboard charts are a popularity contest, not a measure of quality. The thing is, the Hot 100 never claimed to be a measure of quality. It's a fact-based, standardized ranking that attempts to remove judgment and opinion completely. In case anyone doesn't know, the Grammys. I'm about to talk about the Grammys. The Grammys are an annual award presented by the Recording Academy um, to recognize outstanding achievements in the music industry. Winning a Grammy is considered the highest honor in music, at least one of the highest honors in music. But the Grammys aim to honor artistic achievement and technical proficiency and overall excellence in the recording industry and in the song and in the album and by the artist. And that's not in regard to album sales, chart position, or critical reception. This means that the Grammys are not intended to be a popularity contest. Instead, they focus on the quality of the artistry of the work, and it's assessed by peers in the industry. And basically, in essence, the Grammys prioritize quality over popularity, and they aim to celebrate music that exemplifies exceptional artistry and craftsmanship. That's why the Grammy arguments baffle me. Like, some Grammy arguments actually baffle me. Like when people said Cowboy Carter shouldn't have won Album of the Year award because they didn't even know the album. First of all, that says something about you as a music critic. And the fact that maybe you shouldn't be one if you've never even heard of a major album like that. Maybe you shouldn't be one, especially in the case where you haven't heard the project, you shouldn't criticize the project. But also, this argument deeply confused me because I think we all want the Grammys to be a fair measure of quality and not a popularity contest. Even worse is the argument that it shouldn't have won because it didn't chart as well as Hit Me Hard and Soft, or wasn't as successful numbers-wise, especially on the Hot 100.
Nope.
For those who might not know, the Billboard Hot 100 is basically the music industry scoreboard. It ranks the top 100 songs in the US every week based off a mix of streaming numbers, radio plays is a big one, sales, and if your song lands there, it means you're making noise. If you hit number 1, you're dominating. Simple as that. But streams don't equal quality in some people's opinions. Let me get into that. Taylor Swift is one of, if not the biggest artist of our generation. Yet her haters are just as devout and staunch as her fan club, the Swifties, and arguably just as big. Here's another example. And just to preface this example, I think the hate and the poor reception of the song Thick of It by KSI, it was very forced. The hate that it received was very forced, in my opinion. I honestly don't know why it got such a bad name. And it's really not as bad of a song as people are saying. I would say it's a solid 4 or 5 out of 10. And there are much, much, much worse songs that haven't been received nearly as harshly. The first person who hated on the song probably thinks they're like the Mac Daddy now. Like, it's actually an example of hive mentality that truly baffles me. I don't understand. But let's put that aside. In music, the phenomenon where individuals adopt similar behaviors and opinions without critical analysis can lead to widespread praise or criticism of a song or artist based off of like the consensus rather than each individual's personal judgment. And social media makes this so much worse. But still, to my point, take Thick of It, a song pretty universally regarded as trash. Unfairly, but regarded as trash. But it actually placed on the Hot 100 due to social media. Wow. Was that because it was one of the best 100 songs of that week, of that time? Whether I thought it was overhated or not, I think we can all agree it was not the best 100.
Nope.
The song actually debuted at number 84 on the Billboard Hot 100. Debuted!
What?
That was the week of October 14th, 2024. And then it climbed to 64 the following week, which was where it peaked. At hours after being released October 3rd. So 2 weeks, only 2 weeks of traction. And it placed in the Billboard Hot 100. You guys hated it into the Billboard Hot 100. Doesn't that go to show you that it's not about how good the song is? Think about it. Just 100 songs out of millions, literally millions of songs dropping every year. And only 100 get to sit at that table at any given time. To help y'all contextualize, think trying to get into an exclusive VIP party and the line is wrapped along the entire planet. Being on that list means you didn't just make a song, you made a moment. And Thick of It was on the list. 100 people, they can fit in my backyard. I think the number is way smaller in context than people realize. Like, some of y'all are on team 100 men can beat a gorilla. Clearly don't understand how small 100 really is. So, how did that song end up on the list? How do songs in general end up on a list in the first place? Simple. Numbers, streams, sales, radio spins, Shazam searches, social media buzz. It all adds up. You catch enough ears, you climb. Enough plays, you chart. Enough hype, you make the list. And It's not about quality. It's not always about quality. It's about momentum, not quality. I'll give you an example. And prefacing this one once again with another disclaimer. Don't get me wrong, I'm a super Sabrina fan. Emails I Can't Send is one of my favorite albums ever. And I've been following her since her Disney era. And when I say that, you guys think I mean Girl Meets World. I mean Sophia the First. That's how much of a Sabrina fan I am. But when Please 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 was blowing up, for me, it was just like, this song is not that good. And it's, I think it was overhyped. I still think it was overhyped. Great song, but now it's in the Billions Club. Now it was everywhere. TikTok got it. Radio got it. Your cousins who don't even know music, they knew that song. And now it has over 1 billion streams on Spotify. But its move was it was riding off of the success of Espresso. It was well placed, well timed. It had the right energy. It leaned into a persona that Sabrina was trying to build. It was a smart song. It was smart. Keyword. I didn't say it was top quality. Sabrina's been in the limelight her entire life. She's a publicity expert. Of course she knew what she was doing and it paid off. That's what I'm talking about. Catchiness, marketing, accessibility. That's what made that song hot. Not necessarily the layers of writing, top quality production, incredible arrangement, or risk taking. So, on the flip side, one of the best projects of the last 5-10 years. Some of the best projects of the last 5-10 years, let's say the last 5-10 years, they didn't chart like that. Give me Brent's Fuck the World, for example. That shit was an EP that shaped the modern R&B landscape. People still draw from it and him, his style, today. Granted, he's relatively newer. He's not like a real oldies. But people draw from him. A new artist drawing from a new artist. Think about that. That's how impactful it was. For those of you who don't know, an EP, which is short for extended play, it's a musical recording that contains more than one track, or more tracks than a single, because singles can be like 3 tracks sometimes. But it's too short to qualify as a full-length album. Typically, they're like 3 to 5 songs long. But they can be more. It's really up to the artist's interpretation of what they consider an EP. So some artists have longer EPs, some artists have shorter EPs. But this EP, it didn't touch the Hot 100 like that. No chart takeover, no #1 debut, none of that. Just vibes and impact. Resonance. Or another example, some of those top projects didn't win a Grammy, like Good Kid Mad City, how in 2014 it was snubbed for Rap Album of the Year, and the award was given to Macklemore's The Heist, an album that while it shone and glittered at the time, it didn't stand the test of time. Who talks about that album now? It's an album people don't know that much anymore. Meanwhile, Good Kid Mad City is the standard of rap. It's what other rappers look up to, draw from, are inspired by. Or finally, some of those top projects that didn't even get a fraction of the streams, like this year's rap album of the year. The rap album of the year is a Grammy category that honors the best rap album released in a given year. And this year, that was Alligator Bites Never Heal, a Grammy winner that marked like a real shift in the quality recognition that the Grammy Awards represent. Because before, I think the Grammys were a little iffy on the quality versus streaming thing. But now, I think they've marked a real change, especially with this winner. This project didn't get the streaming numbers of the other albums in the category. It's not by as popular an artist as the other albums in that category. Like Eminem, Future, and Metro. You're telling me Doechii won? What? But it marked a win for the future of rap. It marked a win not just for her and for her fans, but for rap fans in general, whether they like it or not, whether they're open-minded enough to realize that, because it means the best album, the most deserved album, can win the award, underdog or not, less popular or not. I mean, my reaction to her winning says it all.
I know she's not gonna win, but like, how? Oh my god, I'd be so happy if she does. It's gonna be real, trust you. But like, oh, imagine the scenes. Imagine the scenes.
These projects, they change the way people make music. They inspire whole generations. Or in the case of Alligator Bites Never Heal, is inspiring. Producers, writers, you name it. That's the flip side. Some of the most influential work doesn't come with a trophy shelf. It echoes, it evolves the sound, it shifts culture. No confetti, no celebration, just legacy. Because artistry and algorithm are two different games. We're going to take a quick break. I'm going to break down a couple examples, and these are going to be from a few different genres. And we'll take a moment to show you exactly how this plays out. But y'all know what it is. Before we get into that, we have Shadow Shout Out time. And this week's Shadow Shout Out goes to, say that 3 times fast. Shadow Shout Out, Shadow Shout Out, Shadow Shout Out. This week's Shadow Shout Out goes to the new and even more newly discovered song by R&B artist Asosa. Best known for her R&B classic, a track that effortlessly blends nostalgic R&B vibes with modern sensibilities, Waste My Time. Why don't you? Oh. But let's talk about Asosa's new single, Muse, a track that feels like stepping into a velvet-lit dream. Think about that. From the moment it begins, you're enveloped in a smooth R&B landscape. This song caught me immediately. It has unmatched vibes. The production is smooth, has a rhythm that invites you to sway along. Asosa's vocal delivery is captivating, conveying emotion without overstatement. The lyrics touch on themes of inspiration and emotional connection, resonating with anyone who's ever felt the spark of a new muse. It's a song that doesn't just play, it lingers, prompting reflection long after the final note. Muse dropped April 24th, and I found it 3 days later on April 27th. As of now, it's sitting, as of when this was recorded, it's sitting at just under 50k streams. And honestly, that says more about virality than quality. It's a perfect example of how quality doesn't translate into virality, because this song is insane. It's already in my favorites right now playlist. I'm obsessed. It's R&B at its finest. Smooth, infectious, effortlessly timeless. The flow, impeccable. The vibe, classic. It just goes to show that not everything that deserves a billion streams gets it. Sometimes the best stuff is still flying under the radar. I'm absolutely obsessed with this rhythm and blues masterpiece. It has the quality to be a classic. It has the quality and timelessness to be a classic. That's the only way I can describe it. Go stream Muse by Asosa right now. Okay, let's get back into it. Let's look at some genre examples real quick. And I'm talking about clear-cut cases where popularity didn't match quality or vice versa. First up, rap. To Pimp a Butterfly by Kendrick Lamar. Arguably one of the most important albums in hip-hop history. You know what it didn't do? It didn't smash the Billboard charts like some throwaway club bangers. It wasn't a party soundtrack. It was layered, political, heavy. It didn't have the kind of commercial explosion that Trap Queen by Fetty Wap had at that time. Let's talk about a different genre, pop. And when I say pop, I mean pop in every sense of the word, because this song exploded. Dance Monkey by Tones and I. The song didn't just chart, it dominated. Remember what I said about domination? This song topped the official singles charts in 38 countries. It had an 11-week run at number 1 in UK. And that's a record for the longest reign by a female artist. In US, it peaked at number 4 on the Hot 100, making Tones and I the first woman in over 8 years to write a top 5 hit by herself, entirely solo. But here's the twist. Despite its massive success, Dance Monkey has faced a lot of criticism. I hate that song. Some listeners have labeled it the worst song of all time. Tones herself has expressed mixed feelings about it because she admits she doesn't like performing it. She loathes performing it. Yeah. Imagine hating your own song, a top 4 hit on Billboard. Y'all think quality relates to quantity? I'm telling you it doesn't. Guess what? To Pimp a Butterfly is the album everyone studies now. It's the blueprint. It's the conversation of best hip-hop album of all time. But back then, its singles didn't even break the top 10. What? And Dance Monkey hit number 4. Now let's talk about R&B. I'm gonna keep it real. When SZA dropped SOS, everyone knew. The streets knew. Real music heads knew. One of the best albums ever written. Think about it. SOS is one of the best albums ever written. Yeah. Real emotion, real storytelling, real songwriting. But guess what? Songs like Kill Bill Got Love, the whole album though, wasn't built to crank out TikTok hits. That's not what made it special. It wasn't Greedy by Tate McRae or some formula pop track. Nope. Don't get me wrong, I love Tate. I love that song. But it was not formulaic. It was different. It was messy. It was raw. It was human. And that's why it's still spinning now. That's why it's still in rotation heavy. Not because it was algorithm bait. Or in other words, music created or produced with the primary intention of appealing to streaming algorithms. The kind of stuff often characterized by catchy hooks, repetitive structures, elements designed to maximize plays and shares. Moving on to the next genre. Let's talk about indie. That one got me excited, just thinking about it. Frank Ocean's Blonde. Whole movement. You hear its influence everywhere today. But if you pulled up the Billboard Hot 100 when it dropped, you would have thought it flopped if you only cared about the numbers. But Frank wasn't chasing singles. He was building a world. That's what lasts. Wow. Despite the album's success and influence, its singles didn't chart on the Billboard Hot 100, highlighting how the album's impact wasn't driven by commercial singles, but by its artistic depth and cultural resonance. Blonde has since been recognized as one of the most influential albums of the 2010s. Pitchfork named it the best album of the decade. Wow. Rolling Stone put it 79 of all time. 79. Damn! On their list of the 500 greatest albums of all time. So while Blonde did not dominate the charts in any sense of the word, no singles on the Hot 100, no singles dominating the Hot 100, its influence and legacy were undeniable. It proves that true artistry doesn't always follow the mainstream path. It often paves its own. So what's the point of all this? My summary? Don't confuse impact with influence. Don't confuse loud with lasting. Loud, lasting.
Okay.
What songs do you listen to now? Listen to loud songs from now and lasting songs from then. Loud songs from then you don't listen to now. Don't confuse loud with lasting. Don't confuse popular with powerful. The real ones know. The real ones feel it, even if it never touches the Hot 100. Not even once. That's all for today's episode.
Finally!
If you like this convo, like and follow. Send it to your friend who uses Billboard stats as an argument that Drake is better than Kendrick in the beef. That's so crazy to me. People were really saying Drake is a better artist than Kendrick just because he's more successful on Billboard?
Oh my God, bro. Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck, man? Get your ass on.
Well, send this to them. And keep watching. See y'all next time. Keep listening to music, stream, run it up. Listen to Muse by Sosa. Thank you guys so much for listening. Have a good one.
Shadow.